Welcome to the video on how I became the first person in Arc Raiders to shoot a drone from out of bounds. To start with, you're going to want to get as many zip lines as you can. You only really need one or two, but because sometimes when placing them you place them in the wrong orientation, it doesn't actually let you zip line up. So you're going to want to grab, there's 3 different spots I know that have zip lines in their practice range, and any of them will do. So you want to head over to this building just here, and next to the ruined car park, there's like a little alley between the building and the car park. You just head down there, and then you stick close to the wall because of how the teleportation works. When you get too far out of bounds, it glitches you inside the building, just like that. And now is when you want to grab your zipline. And my notes for this is don't put it straight up, straight down, because at the moment it doesn't let you zipline up if it's like completely vertical. So you want to put it on a bit of an angle to ensure that you are able to get up. And sometimes it does take a little bit of trying to do, especially when you glitch it through the rock like I have. But eventually you'll get to a place I have coined as David's Door, after me of course. And this is an out of bounds door that I discovered doing this, which I hope I'm the first person to really document and post on YouTube. This is the tricky bit where you're trying to line up a shot with the dummy drones around the map. The first 2 times I came up here, I didn't bring any ammo for my Osprey because I kept bringing more zip lines and then barricade kits, trying to get into another area, which I might post a little bit later. But just having a look around, I can see the drone, and eventually I take my shot. Unfortunately though, that little gap between the blind and the concrete was actually a collidable object, and so my shot didn't go through, so I needed to back up a little bit, realign, and try to hit it again. And because I'm quite dumb, I didn't realize I could do this really close to start with, but you can shoot through the louvers, because that little gap in the louvers isn't a collision, but that gap between the concrete and the louvers is, which I find really crazy. And that is how I become the first person in Arc Raiders to shoot a drone from out of bounds. And in a little while I'll find another spot which I can shoot yet another drone from, which is quite cool. Now what I'm doing is just trying to hit it again to make sure it wasn't a one-time flick, and that this in fact does work. And as you can see, continuously it does work, which I find just really, really cool. Heading away from David's Door now is where another big open space that I found is, and here what I do is I drop another zipline, and I've tried going all the way to the top, but there is a height map that must be in place, which actually stops you from going up, similar to how towards the hill near the spawn you can't actually physically walk past that. This is what's happening with the sky. Also, if you guys have any knowledge of deployable items that you can stand on, please drop a comment, because I would love to know for the other area I'm trying to get to. I've tried barricades, but barricades you can just vault over, not actually stand on top of, and it would be really, really cool if I could stand on top of something I can bring up with me to get to my other spot. And yet another clanker has met its grave at my hands from out of bounds. Just here is where I ran into the most trouble trying to get up. This is where I discovered that the vertical ziplines do not actually work, and I don't know if that is just because I placed them too close to a wall, or if I did something wrong with how I actually place them down, or if it's just a glitch since it's a pretty new game. But here I spend a lot of time struggling to find an angle to get up. I find it every now and then, but I lose it straight away, which is quite unfortunate. And I'm just going to speed it up momentarily because it does take quite some time. And finally I place it down after a very tedious time, and I run into the same problem that I was just talking about. How vertically or too close to a wall I can't place, like I can't go up the zipline. So I decide I'm going to drop down and place another zipline just to try to get up a bit smoother. Saving my ankles and my dignity for an epic comeback from earlier where I decided to fall straight off a building. And here a vertical zipline works just fine, so I'm really not sure what's happening there. But yeah, so this is my adventures in Out of Bounds so far of the practice range. I might try something like this in a round, but I would use a free loadout, and I'm not sure if they come with ziplines, which is quite unfortunate. But thank you for watching, and if you like this, I'm planning on doing similar videos and gameplay videos in the future of Arc Raiders.